Hi everybody, welcome to this webinar which is specifically for Privileged Car Club, which is something that launched on Sunday of all days. Sorry, yeah, it was Sunday, Easter Sunday of all days. So we had a lot of people. I must admit, I was very surprised to get to the event. When I first got there, there was nobody there. And by the time the event kicked off, there was 400 people. So on an Easter Sunday, you know, when most people are with the families and it's obviously a very religious day, we had a very good turnout. And we did get there to see the cars being delivered, because that is the proof in the pudding. You know, once those cars were on the forecourt and they were delivered, it proved that the actual crowdfunding and the whole concept worked. So they could have launched a month before they did if they wanted to. But Andy's always had this dream that we would have 3 cars, that 3 people would qualify for 3 new cars, and then he would launch. And that's exactly what he did. So we had, I'll go through the presentation in a second. So there was a lot of people there. We had people from America. We had people, where were they from? America, Ireland, Scotland. There was people coming in from all over the place, weren't there?
USA.
Yeah, USA. Well, we had somebody there who came from the USA, who'd already qualified, and they haven't even gone live over there. They're literally in pre-launch like we were. So, you know, it's really good that I think once they've got 3, which we're expecting that to be this month, they'll be launching at the end of next month. So if anybody's interested in going to Dallas or anything like that, I think it's Texas, isn't it, Dallas?
It is, yeah, but I'm not sure if it's actually going to be there because it's got a... I think it might be, but it hasn't been decided officially yet.
Okay, so that's effectively what we could be doing. We could be having an event in there at the end of May. So if anybody wants to go and get warm, because this weather over here is rubbish, then obviously feel free, and we'll let you know the dates. So let me just do this presentation so we can explain a little bit more about the Privileged Car Club. So before I get started, has anybody not seen anything to do with Privileged Car Club whatsoever? Is that a no?
No.
Okay, so you've all looked at it, but you've all know what it's all about. I'm just going to give you more information. So let me just share my screen 1 second. Just need to get to my presentation. It's not that one. Hold on. Wrong one. I've got that many different presentations open. Oh my God. Right, here we go. I'm trying to do 15 presentations at once. Here we go. Okay, so this is the Privileged Car Club. Can you see my screen, first of all?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is anything blocking your view? Because I've got the window here, but is that in your view, or can you see the screen?
See the screen.
Yeah, it's fine. It's okay. Just a little bit of the text.
Okay, so the Privileged Car Club, right? So it's a revolutionary new concept, which we've just been talking about, where you can drive the car of your choice for £50 a month, plus an annual membership of £199. So when we say a car of your choice, we mean it depends what qualification level you come in at. So if you want to go for a 20,000 car, you can have a 20,000 car package, which would include things which I'll explain in a minute. Or you can go for a 30k car. It's entirely up to you. And how does it work? So, well, as an example so let's just say you wanted an Audi A3 like myself. I got this Audi A3 I can hear people making noises. Is that you, Leslie?
Oh, sorry. Is it me?
I'm just going to mute you. Yes, I bought an Audi A3 about 16 months ago, something like that. And what you find is the biggest majority of the car cost is the actual car itself, but then you've got your road tax and you've got your insurance on top of that. And obviously this would cost anything from £26,000 to £28,000, and that's including the extras. I mean, and it could cost more because I had things like reversing sensors and all that kind of stuff put on it. And what you tend to find is traditionally you have options of finance it. You can either do, first of all, you could pay cash, which is not the way it's done these days. Most people have realised that owning cars is not the right thing to do, especially not if you're owning it out of your own cash and paying out of your own capital. So what you're tending to find is people are doing personal contract plans, or they're doing HP financing, which is a lot more expensive than PCP, but not everybody can qualify for PCP. So what you have to find, what you have to do is find a 10 to 20% deposit, and it depends on the car. I know Karen's got a much higher spec car than me, and it might have been higher than 20% deposit, but it's a very large amount. You've then got to pay between 36 and 48 monthly payments, which are generally, for my car, it's about £250 a month, on top of the deposit I had to put down, which was best part of 5k. And then you've got the excess mileage. So in my car, to keep the price down, we went for 10,000 miles. Now I know I'm going to do more than 10,000 miles in my car, and I did last year. So I've already started to eat into excess mileage. And they've also got, at the end, an option to either give the car back, which I definitely will be doing, obviously, because of this, or you can take a final payment, which is normally still quite expensive, and that's normally the residual value of the car. But then on top of that, you got the insurance, and on top of that, you got breakdown cover. So they're all the expenses that you would normally have associated with driving a brand new car. And as soon as, obviously, if you was to buy it yourself outright, as soon as you drive it off the forecourt, it's depreciated in value straight away. So that is always, something to think about. And it happens no matter whether it's on PCP or HP, but at least it's not coming out of your pocket effectively. So what you would do then with crowdfunding and with using the Privileged Car Club, what you get is people crowdfunding your car. So it would take 125 people to go to crowdfund a 30k car, and that's literally paying them they're paying less than 1% for each of them paying less than less than 1% to give you your 100% budget. But this includes road tax, insurance, and breakdown cover. So, and I think there's other things that it's including, tires as well, I think as well. But they're the basic ones that you would associate with the expenses. So you don't have to cover any of them. And the budget for the 125 is 30,000. So it all depends. I mean, everybody's different. So if you're somebody who's got 10 points on your license, you've got, obviously you've had an accident, then your insurance is going to cost more than my insurance when I've got full no claims and I've not had any points or accidents. So everybody, you can't really look at everybody and say, he can have this car, she can have that car. It all depends. So you would actually look at the 30k package and think, right, what kind of car is in that price range? You would give them a range of cars, so maybe 3 or 4 cars to look at. And they have all your details, and then they will go away and find you the best car for the value that you've got. And then sometimes they can get you, a high spec car, but, a cheaper car, but high spec, or if you want a really expensive car, but it's quite basic. So it's really dependent on you, and they'll give you options as well as to what you want to do. And then what they do is they go and negotiate, because the cash buyers, they go and negotiate a cash buy discount. And the way Andy explained this to us is eventually, may not be happening straight away, but eventually when we have a bigger amount of people, qualifying for cars, he'll be able to negotiate values of, discounts, anything to around 40-45% discounts, which means, when he comes to sell those cars in 2 years' time, they're literally keeping the same value as what he's bought the car, maybe slightly less, but it means they're getting more or less to drive. We're getting to drive those cars, or we're driving them for £50, but he's letting us drive them for next to nothing because he's not really paying anything. He's paying it out and getting it back within 2 years. So that's the difference. And I don't think people understand that, because they think, well, how can you afford to do this? Well, that's how we can afford it, is because we get massive discounts. And as we grow and as we'll become very much like your Budgets and your Avis type car rental companies, even though we won't be renting the cars out, but we will become, a buyer where we can buy in volume. So that's how we're going to achieve, the prices and how we can keep things moving. And like Karen said, there will become a point in time, maybe 150,000 members, where we could shut the door and say we don't need any more members. Not that we will do that. We might do it. We've got the option to do that, but it means that we don't need new members to keep this system, to keep the crowdfunding of the cars going for, you know, every 2 years, it will be self-sustainable. And obviously all the PCC club members, they're all sharing the costs of the car. So we all obviously own the cars. We don't drive all the cars, obviously. The member who's qualified who drives the car, but we've all got a part share in that car because it's the assets of the company, and we'll effectively, in years to come, we will all be shareholders in the company. So that's the difference between us and other companies of this kind, you know, like Avis and Budget. Because they're not. They've obviously got shareholders that they deal with, and we are the shareholders in this company. And these are the different things, like I said, where you would you're going to get from your car. So you're going to have a warranty of 2 years. You're going to be the registered keeper. You'll have everything, comprehensive insurance. You'll have no MOTs to worry about. And with us, you get 15,000 miles annual mileage. Now, if you was to go over that, I don't think they're going to penalise you, but that is an average, you know, annual mileage for an average person. Some people will be a lot less, some people will be more, but overall, it should even itself out. Now, if somebody goes off and does 150,000 miles, and I'm sure there will be some kind of penalty for that, but it's not going to be anywhere near what you would get if you took that same car from a garage and on PCP. Then, you know, there would be massive penalties for doing that. With us, it'll be, there might be some, there may not. We just don't know because we've not come to cross that bridge yet.
Sharon?
Yeah?
What it is basically, when you get your car, when you qualify, you have to state, like we do now, for your insurance purposes, how many miles you estimate you're going to do, and that's what it's down to. But they have to put something, but your insurance basically, so if you're going to do like 100,000 miles a year, I don't suppose many people will, and I don't know if that is included at that level, but someone that's going to do high mileage, their insurance will cost more. So they'll end up not having to spend on the car in the first place. So, you know, it's all, it's all down to that really. You have to state your mileage.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay, so there are some conditions. So obviously that you don't just get the car because you're a member of the car club. You do have to do some work to help the car club grow. And the way I like to explain the car club, it's like if you imagine yourself as you're setting up your own, you've got your own little school membership, kids club or anything really where you need a membership. Football club. Somebody's got their I can hear somebody. Can you just turn whoever's got their phone off mute? Oh, there we go. No. Somebody's got their thing on mute, off mute.
If it's any use to you.
That's it. Oh. No, if it comes back on, just let me know. I've lost everybody now. Just hold on, I've lost you all. Oh, there we go. Right, so where am I? Let's go through that. Yeah, so there are three things that you have to do to qualify. The first thing is you have to pay 3 months membership. The second thing you need to do is introduce 3 people. And the third thing is you need to maintain your equal pools. So I'll explain what that means in more detail. So this is what it's going to look like in a graphical display format. So if you was to start today, I know we're in April, but let's just imagine we're in January. And you started on the 1st of January and you paid your 199. The first 3 months are the qualification period. So even if you got 125 people in those 3 months, you can't take your car, you can't place your order of your car until April. So, you've got those 3 months to contend with. And then obviously after that, you pay £50 a month thereafter, and it would carry on forever. I mean, if you were going to be a member of the car club for life, then you would pay £50 a month for the rest of your life. It doesn't stop at any point in time once you've got your car. You do need to maintain those payments. But what it does mean is, say you actually in early September, you did qualify for your car, then they would order the car, and it'd probably take about 6, depending on the car. It can take 6 weeks. Some can take 14 weeks. I know Teslas are 2 years, so that's a big problem. But you would generally get your car within 6 weeks, so you'd receive your car here, and then obviously you've got the benefit of driving the car. And You'll just do that for the next 2 years, and it gets around about September again, and you'll be asked, you know, what's your intentions? What do you want to do? What kind of car are you going to go for? And there are things that I'm going to explain in a minute, which might mean you're going to change or go up in spec, or you may stay the same, might just get a newer model, you know, that kind of thing. So this is what it would look like over the course of a 3-year period. Well, 2 years, yeah, it's 3 years. So it looks a lot. It's not a lot. When you look at it, it's about £749 a year annual costs. So it's not a lot of money if you think about it. Based on the car, like we showed earlier on, the average cost for car expenses is about £2,000 a month. So a year, sorry, £2,000 a year. So, you know, you're saving quite a lot, and that's just on one car. Okay, so to introduce 3 people, so this is you, and you're going to have to go out and introduce 3 people. Now, this can be, in my case, and I know Karen's done the same thing, my first person I introduced was Neil, because we want to obviously both have new cars. So you can do that. So I would, if you are thinking of doing it, I would make that person your first person. Then you can introduce your second person, and I know maybe Carl will probably do this. He's got children who are over 18. You would sign one of your children up. And then your third person could be a friend, or it could be, you know, somebody you know who really likes cars, or somebody who's really desperate to get a new car, but they've never been able to afford it, but they are willing to speak to 3 people and do the same as you. And that's all you're looking for. We're not looking for you to go and find 125 people. That is not the case. And that is not what we're expecting anybody to do. But we do expect you to find 3 people, and not just any 3 people, 3 people who will do the same. Otherwise, nothing will happen. You know, you'll be sat there waiting for your car, but nothing's going to happen if they're not willing to do anything. So this is not a business for you to be desperate to drag people into. It's a business for you to be proud of, and it's for you to say, look, you know, you have to work this, and you have to be wanting to help to grow the club. And if you are, then you're going to be handsomely rewarded with all sorts of things that are going to come in the future. So once you've achieved that, you can then move on to the next thing, which is equal pools. Now, what we mean by equal pools is that of the 3 people that you've just brought into the club, you need to have enough 20 or people at minimum in each of those pools for the 20k package. So what this would mean is for the 20,000 package, you need 81 members. So you could have 20 in each of the pools, and then another 21 could be an all-in-one. It could be like 41 in the first one, and then 20 in the other 2, or it could be spread evenly. It depends. I mean, and it never works out like that. You'll find one person will go mad, and the other 2 might not do as good. But eventually, you'll get to 20, 20, 20, and then you'll be eligible for the 20k package. Now, me personally, will not be doing a 20k package, because what will happen is you'll qualify for your 20k package, and I can bet this would happen because everybody else is going to be wanting to get their car. You'll qualify for your 20k package. You'll place your order for the car, and before your cars come, you'll have qualified, or you could have qualified for the 30k. So you'll really kick yourself. So I would say hold out for the 125, unless you don't really want a big car. You know, you literally are happy with a 20k car. And then that's fine, go for it, because then what comes next will be quicker. So that's how you get the 20k car. And it's the same thing, same principle for the 30k, but this time it's 30 in each of the pools and 125 overall. So again, you would need to spread the 35 evenly, or, you know, all on one side, whatever. It doesn't matter what the combination is, as long as it's, 30 in each of the main pools. And that would give you a 30k package. So imagine you've done that. Imagine you've done the re-enter. Imagine you've got your 30k car and you want to re-enter. And this is how your pools look. So on your first, because you've gone in for the 30k car, you've got a 31 over here, because obviously minimum was 30. You've got a 59 and you've got a 132. So this team is going really well, and they don't really need your help at the moment. But this team over here, obviously, they've not got going. They're just a little bit, they're not struggling, but they might have just got some newbies in there who are just finding their feet. So they're the team that are going to need your help this time round. So what happens now is you will actually come into this pool here. And what you do is you start again. So, but this time you only need 81 people, because you can't I've put 30k package. I meant this is a 20k package. You can't have another 30k package after your first one. You can only actually get 20k packages. So that could be a 20k package for, hold on, I'll just explain this. So yes, that one's going on it by itself. This one needs some help. And this is what happens when you do go in. These are the options you've got. You can either upgrade. So for example, say you wanted a Jaguar Land Rover. What kind of cost is that, Karen? 50k, 60k? You're on mute.
Depends which model, but yeah, 60k upwards really.
Okay, so somebody who wants a Land Rover can't do that by themselves. You know, on the first cycle, you know, when you do your first 125, you're going to have to take a car, or do like I've done with Neil, is you join and then you bring in your partner or your husband or your wife, and you both qualify for the 125. So hang out until you both qualify, and then what the club will allow you to do is combine both of those values together and get a 60k car or car package. So you could either do that where if you only need one car, then do that. And I know, Karen, you're doing that with Stephen, aren't you? You don't need two cars. So they're going to club theirs together. Or if you wanted to have two cars, and you can have two 30k cars first time round. And then what you can do going forward, if you want to have a bigger car the next time round, you can both then go for this 20k rule. And in years 3 and 4, you would have a 30k car plus 20 and another 30k car plus 20. So that's one option. I mean, some people will take that. Most people will probably do the next one, which is the monthly income, because, you know, obviously people need to live. And this is an advertising budget. So this is basically, you've took the car, and the company are now paying you to take that car and show it off effectively. So they don't want you to brand it. They're not going to make you put, you know, things all over it saying Privileged Car Club. But what you might choose to do is get some things for your back window, where when you're on a car park or you're driving around, you know, you might choose to leave that in your back window to say, you can drive a car like this for £50 a month or something like that. But you'll certainly have to attend events. You know, there's a big events happening around the country. They'll expect you to drive down there with the car and show it off so that people can see that, you know, because obviously there'll be new people joining all the time, and they'll need to make sure that they can prove that, you know, there's cars being delivered and people are driving them. So you can take £1,000 a month for every month, and that's after you've had your car, and that's for 2 years. So that's a like residual income straight away. And again, you can do that for either the 20 or the 30k car package, where you get 20k upgrade for the car, or you get £1,000 a month. And then the third option is you can have another 20k car. Now, I didn't realize they could do this, but they do need us to get as many cars on the road. They may change this option in the future, but initially this is going to be where you can get your 20k car or your 30k car, and you can actually take a second car. So if you're, you know, like say you didn't bring your husband and wife, and you just went in with one account because you're going to find it difficult to fill one account rather than two. But what you can do when you've actually qualified and you've got your first car and you've re-entered and you've qualified again, you can take a second car for 20k. You can't have another 30k car. You can have a 20k car. And that might work because you might have a family car, you know, a proper saloon for your main car. And then you might just have a run around for, you know, like for taking the kids to school, or, you know, anybody, you know, some families do need two cars and they don't really need two big cars. And that might be another option for them. So that again would only cost you in total £50 a month. It's not 2 times £50 a month. It's just still two cars for £50 a month. The only thing you're going to have to pay on that second re-entry is the £199 again, because every time you re-enter, you pay £199, and it's only fair that you're getting another option to make either an upgrade, extra income, or another car. So, you know, it is still a fair deal. And again, with a 30k, you would have a 30k car plus a 20k car, or a 20k car and a 20k car. It's entirely up to you how you would do it. The Privileged Car Club is a registered company with the Companies House. And the main company is a holding company, which basically is where the 199s go. And this is where eventually going to use some of those funds to create their own. We could become our own dealer, and we could even have our own insurance company. That is definitely something we're looking at in the future. I'm not sure, Karen, can you go off mute? Do you know what else that 199 is used for?
It's for admin as well, running the company expenses, etc.
And salaries as well of the company, isn't it?
Yeah,
Also for hosting events. I would imagine the events cost, so they'll be using that as well for doing the big events.
I would expect so.
So that's the first thing. And then we've got the Privileged Car Club is where the cash flow happens. So this is where the money that you pay every month is what is funding the cars. So that's why it's important that everybody on your team, you keep an eye on the team, make sure that they're still active, and that they're not forgot to pay their monthly fee. So what I would recommend is that when you're talking to people is make sure they don't use a debit or a credit card that is literally ready for renewal, because they'll forget to renew it and then they'll actually go inactive. So they will get a message on the back office to say they're inactive, and it's up to them to renew, to get it active again. The one thing you wouldn't want to do, especially if you're a founder member, is lose that status, because especially founder members are going to be, everybody will have access to shares when the company floats, but founder members get a higher proportion. So, please make sure that everybody keeps themselves active. That's the most important thing. And then we have cryptocurrency, which is something that we're going to be having our own ICO, and it's an asset-backed coin, which means the coins are going to be backed by the cars, because we're going to have an asset, rich company with loads of cars all over the world driving around, and this cryptocurrency will be backed by those assets. And any capital that's going to be raised will be done through, through using the cryptocurrency markets and investors. So there'll be people wanting to, to get involved in the cryptocurrency, in the Privileged Car Club, who are not really into cars, but they'll certainly be into the crypto side of it. So we've got a really good guy from a company called Dragon Coin, who's actually working with the company to give them expertise, and they're like the main developers of that coin. So it'll be quite interesting to see how that pans out, but that's actually scheduled for this year. So we'll keep you informed with that and how that's going. So this weekend, these are the cars. We had £90,000 worth of cars, all paid for in cash. The first one we had was an Audi Q3, which was really nice. We had a Volkswagen Passat Estate, and we also had a Mercedes 220 CLA. So they're all, for some reason, it looks like they've all gone for, well, there's 2 estates and a hatchback, isn't there? So they've obviously need big cars for some reason, these guys. But they're the first 3. And then we also had Morel, who's also qualified. She's going to go for a family type car. She's not actually qualified 100%. She's one person away. So that'll be our first lady qualifier as well. So that'll be really interesting to see that we've actually got 4 in literally. That's all happened since Christmas, really, that, hasn't it? Everybody's qualified since Christmas. So in the last 3 months, 2 months, I think, because they had to order it in February. So they've done really well. Everybody's catching up, really, to be honest. And that's before there's ever been one car on the road. So that's the whole thing, is that we are the founder members, the ones, the pioneers, because, everybody's saying, oh, it'll never work. There's no cars. Here's the cars. Here's the proof. Everything, that it does work, and it does say and do what it says on the tin. So the countries we are available in at the moment is the United Kingdom. That's where we pay the £199 and £50. But we are also in Ireland as well. So they're paying euros, and it's £240 plus £60 per month. And then in the United States, we've just literally just started there. And like I said, we're going to launch hopefully at the end of next month, and they're paying $255 and $75 a month. But we have got 2 more countries coming soon, which is Canada and Mexico. And I wouldn't be surprised if Australia is not far behind them. So we can't give you the dates, we can't give you the prices, because until we've actually got compliance in those countries, we can't even allow people to register. But that's nearly, I think we've got compliance for Canada. I'm not quite sure about Mexico, but they wouldn't be on this. We wouldn't be allowed to put them here if they were already in the pipeline. So it means that, things are moving in the right direction. So what you need to know about Privileged Car Club is that it is a reward-based crowdfunding. So that's why we are compliant. There is no laws or anything. We don't need to be governed by any kind of financial financial conduct or anything like that, because we don't deal in finances. The money that you're paying is crowdfunding cars. Nobody gets paid anything for recruiting, which is what we don't do. We're sharing and helping, and we're spreading the word. So there's no gifting or of cash or anything like that. It's a hybrid networking and private members club. So yeah, there's people who are networkers who are in the business, but basically it's not necessarily, it isn't really for networkers. It's for everybody, you know, for the average person to get out of debt from the car that, you know, the car expenses that really cripple them. And, you know, it's been done for members. The fact that there are networkers in it is just because we see a really good opportunity when we see one. That's why we want to do it. And we also, there's a lot of members or leaders in the business who, you know, really do care about their teams and want them to be successful as well. So that's why we're in this business. So it is an asset management company. That is basically what we are. You know, in 2 years' time, we're going to have lots and lots of cars, because we'll have cars coming back, we'll have cars going out. You know, there could be thousands and thousands of cars all over the world, all Privileged Car Club members. It is a continuous crowdfunding, so the money should not stop, you know, because we are continually getting those £50 a month or $75 a month coming in. The website does all this sign-ups and all the tracking for you, so you don't have to worry about who's going where. And, you know, I think you will be able to, you know, say where you want the next person to go in your pool, but basically you really don't have to worry about it. And it is a very professional looking website as well, which you'll see on the videos I've done for you. You can do online and offline introductions, and I'm going to show you a few things that you can use for online, and obviously there's offline as well. You can do the advertising. You can in the advertising fund. That's for ambassadors and presidents, where you've actually got your main car, and then you've actually re-entered and qualified for the, you know, the extra, either the upgrade or the money. And then we have the next generation of the Privileged Car Club. Now, this is what excites, I think. I'm not sure whether you're excited about this, Karen, but I am. Are you? By the next generation, which is the Privileged House Club, this is really what Andy's been trying to do, but it's obviously a bigger, taller order for people to grasp. So having people go through the car club first and understand the concept that you can crowdfund a car. And I do believe crowdfunding houses is actually happening around the world, in places like Nigeria and some, you know, some more, you know, obviously problematic countries where, you know, obviously finance is difficult. They already do this, but it's not caught on around the world. But if you could be sat in a house that's fully paid for, not that it won't be £50 a month, I don't believe. I mean, I don't know what the value will be, but I can't imagine it'd be £50. But let's say it was £250 a month, and you got to live in a nice house, you know, and all the other things were taken care of apart from your utilities, you know, then wouldn't that be fantastic? You didn't have anything to worry about, and that is where we're heading. So once there's a certain amount of cars on the road, then Andy, who's the CEO, then will reveal what he's got planned for the house club. And that's what that's what we're all excited for, to understand where this can go. And maybe part of the rule will be you have to come through the car club first to earn the money. You know, maybe you have to qualify and go back in to earn the extra £1,000 a month. So they can guarantee you're going to pay for your house, you know, every month. That might be, I don't know if that's real. Maybe I've just made that up. But maybe that's what he's thinking, you know, to ensure that people do keep up their payments. So the next step for you guys is to obviously take on board what we're doing and take massive action. So all it takes is for you to really just spread the word. We don't expect people to, like I say, to go out and speak to 125 people to, you know, directly. You need to find 3 good people who will obviously come and listen to what you've got to say, and go to the webinars and just understand that, you know, this is definitely not going to stop. It is going to carry on. We've only just started, really. So I hope you find that quite interesting. Let me just stop sharing a minute while I come back. So I've seen some people asking questions. Is there any major questions? All right, it's okay. So somebody had to leave, so that's fine. Okay, so that's that. So is there any questions from anybody before I move on to the actual leaflets and stuff like that?
Ask you a couple of questions, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If someone, so I've joined in the UK. If somebody wants to join from the USA, they can join my team and vice versa.
Yes, but there isn't another group. It's all one club. So we all, you can have people in Timbuktu eventually.
Okay. And just another question as well. So the re-entry. So if you re-entry, so if you get your 30k car, you re-enter, get your £1,000 per month.
Yeah.
And to a third time, then if you wish, to get a further £1,000 a month, if you wish.
You can re-enter as many times as you like. What I don't know, Karen, if you know the answer to this. So if somebody re-enters the first time and takes the cash, can they re-enter and then the next time take an upgrade in 2 years' time?
Yes, you can. But once you've committed, so like say for instance, you work out it's going to take 3 or 6 months, whatever it may be, to build another pool of 81, then you could take a couple of income streams, get 18 months into your contract and say, right, okay, I'm going to work on an upgrade now.
Right. Okay.
That's
answers the question. Yeah.
Yeah, and then do that sort of as you're getting a bit closer to the 2 years.
So you could enter two. You could enter a second and a third time, get £2,000 a month. Then on your fourth entry, you could go for the next upgrade.
Yes.
Yeah, brilliant. Cool.
Once you've committed to either cash or an upgrade, you can't change it. That's it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah.
Okay. And obviously that's going to be, but you have to be aware that if you're taking the cash option, it's not a freebie because you have to do something for it, which is, spread the word, show your car off and attend a few events. So, but it's still worth it for £1,000 a month. Who wouldn't do that?
Yeah.
That's right. And you re-enter again at that point.
Yeah. And you go back in again in your weakest pool. So you're helping another team. So effectively, if you have somebody if you've joined and their team's not doing well and you go in below them, you're now their downline. So you're helping them, they become your upline, and it's vice versa. So that just keeps happening, and it's going to happen because you're not going to stop recruiting. If you're making £1,000 a month and you want to make £10,000 a month, you're not going to stop, and if it's easy enough just to give out those cards or speak to people or put leaflets in your back window, eventually people are going to start asking you what the hell's going on. Especially whenever I qualify for my Tesla, that's my goal. I mean, mine will be, I'll have posted on the back window and everything when I'm not driving it, of course. To say that, you can drive this car for £50 a month and you will be able to do that. And that's the fantastic thing about it. So yes, it's very exciting.
Just a question from me.
Yeah.
Say I introduce 3 people, or get lucky and I introduce 6 or 7 people. They start introducing people, but for some reason, and a couple of strings down, it kind of stops. I've sat there with 20, 30 people in my pool, if you like. What's to say that if it stays there, I'm never, ever going to get a car? If you don't ever get to that 81 people, you never get a vehicle, do you?
Right, Karen, do you want to explain that?
Okay, so from my experience with this is once it gets going, it just keeps going. And I've got 2 legs that have got way more than what I need, but I'm still building one. And also, like Steve's got 2 good ones as well. So we've got 2 legs that we need to work on. But those other 2 legs, in the meantime, have just got way over what we need. Way over. So yes, you might get 1 or 2 people that just drop out, but there's not many. And once you've got your 20, 20, 20 or 30, 30, 30, then it doesn't matter where those extras are. They could be on level 15, for instance. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be filled right at the beginning.
This is one of the things that's concerned me for a while, that you've got to basically get 80 people, or is it 81? Something
There's 81 people, but you don't have to get 81 because don't forget.
No, it's to get within your stream. I understand that bit. It's gathering them people up, and what you've got to be able to do is explain to them people that they've then got to do the same kind of thing as yourself, and it benefits everybody by driving that. I understand that's where it's going to be self-sustaining. But say, for argument's sake, we get 4 or 5 weeks, 6 weeks into this, and it takes off that well, and I think it was 160,000 said that there was going to stay, we'll shut the doors at 160,000 members. They shut the door at 160,000 members before I get to any kind of figure that's going to get me a vehicle, where does it leave me? All
This is the point. This is why what they're saying about this is they can shut the door because there will be enough money in the business to get everybody the car. Whether
do we know how many people are actually within the business at the moment, or
no? We're nowhere near. We're only probably we're less than 2,000 people at the moment. So, and it's not going to be what.
I know it's very early.
He could shut the door at 150. He won't.
Yeah, I understand that. It'd be silly to turn money away.
Well, exactly, and especially if it's going the way we want it to do. I mean, we want to help as many people as possible, but what we're saying is, people say, "Oh, what happens when you run out of people?" We're never going to run out of people because we don't need people. After 2 years, we won't need people. The first 2 years, yes, we do, because obviously we're building up the pool and the assets.
I understand how it works because it's the revenue coming from the sale of the cars that have come out of the business so that's going to go back in. I understand all that and how it works. It was a friend of mine who introduced me to this, and it's taken me since January to actually sign up. I signed up last week before, and I've sent emails out to a dozen or so friends. I've been on holiday this week, so I've not had a chance to back it up with any kind of explanation to them, so I'm waiting till I go back to work. It's just I'm a little bit cautious of the fact that I've got to try and introduce so many people, but so have they, and it's whether or not I can get them on board. And it's the same kind of nervousness that I suppose everybody's got when it comes to something like this. I always saw it as a type of a pyramid sale, but after looking at what presentations have been given by Paul and a couple of other people on YouTube, the links I've looked at on YouTube, it explains itself quite well, and it does look like it will ultimately be self-sufficient. So that's why I'm in.
Yeah, and what you just need to get out of your head that you have to get 81 people, because don't forget, whoever your sponsor is also building their business. There's going to be people that he doesn't need because he's got 3 people. It's got to go somewhere. So it'll end up either in your teams or your friend's team or the next it does go somewhere.
Yeah. Well,
sorry?
Go on, you're right.
What I'm going to say, what you don't want to do is tell people that you're going to get spillover. Don't ever, don't tell them that. Let them find that happening themselves. Otherwise, you're going to find people just sit back and do nothing.
Well, I've been talking to one guy who's actually in the pool above me, if you like, and he said, well, I've done my bit. I've joined. To me, it's a gamble. I'm paying 600 quid. I'm doing nothing else. If I get a car, I do. If I don't, I won't. I've lost 600 quid and that'll be me out next year.
Well, he won't. With that attitude, he won't get a car because he needs 3 people. So, is everybody done?
What's on the presentation on YouTube, and it kind of puts you in that frame of mind. But I read into it more and found out that you can't just put yourself in that pot and then let everybody else do the work for you. You've got to be willing to do some legwork, and this is what I'm trying to explain to the people that I'm inviting. I'm being open about it and saying, look, don't think it's 50 quid a month payment, there's your car. It's 50 quid a month payment, 199 to join, and then you've got to try and get a minimum of 3 people to join, and hopefully them 3 people will do the same. And I see exactly where it goes, and I think it's a good thing, and I hope it does take off like everybody's anticipating.
Well, it will. It definitely will.
Yeah.
You just need to speak to the right people. I mean, the people you should be talking to, and I'll explain that in a minute, is people who need cars to drive. So those people who say, I'm going to sit back and do nothing, you don't even want them in your business. Just walk away. If that's their attitude, then don't even give them the privilege of being a member of the Privileged Car Club, because it is a privilege.
Yeah, but he's above me in the pecking order, if you know what I mean.
He's not helping you, is there?
No, exactly. He's going to be, in fact, doing a disservice to the guy who got him involved in it.
Exactly. So that person who brought him in should have said, he should have turned it away and said, no, you're not joining. If that was the attitude, is say, no, you're not getting involved because you're not willing to do anything. We don't need you. There's enough people out there who will see this for what it is and get involved and be excited.
It's a massive opportunity
you've got to carry.
Yeah.
So yes, I don't agree. So Lawson, you've just put a message on about what happens if a quarter of your team stop funding or drop out after you've qualified for the car? Okay, so the first thing to let you know is you don't lose your car. So they're not going to come and drag your car back off you. You've paid for the car, and the people, who've been with you have paid for the car. But what it does mean is that you do need to make sure that the rest of the team is continuing to build, or you have to find another 3 people to start building, ready for when in 2 years' time you need to have 125 people in 2 years' time ready to go again. So you do always need to maintain that 125, but they won't take the car off you. It means you need it before you've got 2 years to build it back up, which, you know, like I say, once you get the car, it's a lot easier to sell the business, you know, the concept, because you've got the car in front of you and you're driving it. So you're proof, you know, that it can be done. So it's either 125 or 81, whichever one you've gone for, you know, that's what you need to maintain. But like Karen's just said, if you've got some, you know, 1 or 2 strong legs in your, or pools in your business, those teams are going to carry on growing. So you just need to maintain the 20 or the 30 in the weakest leg, to keep that 125. So you could have, you know, a team that goes down hundreds and hundreds of levels, and as long as there's 125 out of those 100 levels all qualified, you'll still get your car. So you don't need to worry about that. I know people have asked that question before about, will the car be taken, like if you stop paying your loan and they repossess your car. They won't do that with Privileged Car Club, but you do need to maintain your membership, or you will lose that car in 2 years' time. I am writing that is exactly what it is, Karen. Yeah?
That's my understanding, yes.
Yeah. So yes, that was that. So any more questions before we move on to show you what I've done for the for promoting the business? No? Okay, so let me just share my screen again. 1 second. Oops. Okay, everything's gone blank on my screen, so why? Hold on, here we go. Right, so I just need to take you over to, so I've got 2 different capture pages here. Sorry, 2 different systems. This is a thing called Online Sales Pro. So the first thing is, I'm not sure how many of you guys out there will want to do capture pages where you're capturing the lead. You're going to send emails, you know, out to them to welcome them, to let them know there's webinars, to give them updates on where you know, what's happening with the club, if you're doing any of your own webinars, you know, that kind of stuff. So if you're not looking to do that, then this system's no good for you. But if you are, then I've got these systems. I'm just going to show you what they look like. So this is the capture page. Oh, I think it's just logged me out. 1 sec. Dashboard. Just log me out. 1 second. Right, so you would go to your page, and it's dead easy to set up this. I mean, I have got another system which everybody's tried, and they've all never been able to do it. So this is Online Sales Pro. You click on you create your opt-in page, which took me about 2 minutes to do. And it looks like this. So I've done a video. So I created a video. You don't have to create your own video. You can just use the company's video, which you can just put in here. You obviously create yourself a headline. You can put some little emojis in it to make it look more professional. And then when they click here to request more info, it asks them to enter the details, which you then get. And on the actual system, you get an app on the phone. And every time you get a lead, it goes cha-ching. So then you go, oh, got a lead. So then you can go to your app on your phone and you can message them directly. You can either send them a text message from your app on your phone, or you can send them a pre-done email, and it's using your mobile minutes. So you have to have, obviously, text messages within your minutes, and you also have to have data or be in a Wi-Fi area to use the app. So, you know, to send emails. But you can just literally, you don't need a capture page if you're not going to use it. But if you do, you can obviously interact with your leads quicker if they're in the UK by using this feature. So that's quite a good feature, and that would then take you on to the next page, which I'll take you to. So that was the capture page, and then it would go to the sales page, which has got, 1 minute, I'm in the wrong place. Here we are. And again, this took a couple of minutes to do, so they're not really hard to do. And on this one, I've created a page which just says thank you for getting back to me and requesting more information. And it's obviously saying like you can do a CAV. And what I've done with that video, it takes them through the dashboard and how to navigate around the back office. I've given an option to message me, which will take me to Facebook, and they can directly message me on Facebook, clicking there. This video here will go, what we're doing now will go in here as a webinar. And if they've got any questions, they can directly message me here. So you give them a couple of options to get in touch. And then this is how to get started with the Privileged Car Club. And if they want to get started, they click the link here. So that is kind of one system which you can use. And this one is like a fully automated with a capture page, lead pages, autoresponder. You do need to have Aweber connected to this, so there is a cost for that as well. Or you can use this one, which I've created for everybody. And not that one, it's another one. One sec. Let's just do, I forgot what I've called it. Team. I forgot what I've called it. One sec. Let me just go and find it. I've given it a name that was really that interesting, and I forgot what it is. So one sec. So this is using Power Lead System, but you don't need to do anything with this. I've just created a page. And Carl, I'm picking on you. So this is your page, Carl. So you would have your own page. So I'm going to do this for everybody on the team. So you would have your own page. So this one would be carl.crowdfundingnewcars.co.uk. So like Leslie, yours will be Leslie. Karen, yours will be Karen. You know, as long as there's nobody else with the same name, obviously it would be Carl, and then your second, you know, Carl R or Carl, you know, whatever, you know, whoever it is, like that's how I'd have to do it. And then this video, what I'm doing on here will go in here. This video, sorry, what video will that be? That will be the video talking about the back office of this thing. Then we've got a 6-minute presentation, which is the company presentation. You've got a back office walkthrough, which is the one I was talking about on my other page, where it talks about how to navigate around, how to pay your annual membership. And then if you want to get started, you click on the button. Let me just see if I can log out of my back office. I don't know if I can. Let me just click on Get Started Now. And this will take them to Privileged Car Club. So if I just log out, I don't know if you noticed then what happened. One sec. Yeah. I have messaged the company about this and tell them what's happening. I just need to log out and then I can do, oh, there we go, sign up. So you can see that this pop-up happens straight away, but when you click out of it, it doesn't go. It keeps playing in the background. You can hear it. So I've told them about that. So what would happen is it would take you to that page. Let me just go back to the page. Here we are. So go back down to the bottom. So click on it. You click on Get Started Now. You're just gonna have to ignore the fact that music's playing in the background for a minute. And then you click on, and then they would click on Sign Up, and you can see straight away it's got your name, Carl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your details. So this is linked to you straight away. So that's another way of you getting your details out. You know, so you can actually just share that with people. You're not capturing the leads, but as long as you know who you're giving it to, you can write the details down. I know you said you've got a CRM system, so you could put it into that. If you don't have a CRM, there's nothing wrong with a little black book or a little white book or whatever, or an Excel spreadsheet, and write the name down, the date you sent the link, and then when you're going to follow them up and whether they're going to come to a webinar. And then if they ask you for the link, then you could just say, look, you know, why don't you join? But only don't feel like you have to get these people to join you. It's not a rush. There's no race. You want the right people. Otherwise, you're going to be babysitting them all the time, and they're going to be saying, oh, I've not qualified yet. And really, you want people who know what they have to do. They just got to speak to people. And no, they don't need 81. They only need 3 people, really, 3 good people. But why stop at 3 when you can help your team? You know, so I just see it as my, you know, for me, I'm just going to keep going. If I bring in 333 or 3,000 people, it really doesn't matter because it's helping everybody else. And that's the main thing. So that was the how to, you know, promote the business. Now this page one is how to grow your team. So you've got the video. This is the video here, which is talking about how to grow your team, which is all about this page. And then we've got one of the best ways is going to be using these flyers. Now, I've not been somebody who did flyers like donkeys years ago with the business that's similar to what you're doing, Carl, in your other business, where it was, because it was a local based business, you would You would give leaflets out and they would ring you and you could communicate. But when you're talking about our other types of businesses, which are very much passive and cryptocurrency, people are not, you can't do that through a leaflet. But with this, it's a car. You don't have to explain what a car is. Everybody drives. If they've got a car, they drive it. They know what it is. They know how much it costs them. You're trying to show them how to save money. All this is doing is getting them to pick up the phone or email you or go to your website. That's it. So you could quite happily give them out. You could put them on. I wouldn't advise you put them on people's windscreen wipers, although you can, but you could get done for litter. So just be careful. You don't want the police turn up on your door saying with like 3,000 leaflets have been like found in this ditch somewhere.
Unless they want a car for £50 a month.
I'm sorry?
If the police come to your door saying you've done this, they may be that they're coming to your door because they want a car for £50 a month.
You never know. That could well be right, but this is a good way of doing it. So these leaflets they look very professional. They're A6 size, which is about it's half of an A5. So it's about that size. I don't know if you can see that. So it's about half of an A4, half of an A5. So they're still reasonable size. You can read everything. It talks about crowdfunding. It's got your details on the back. And the prices range from $49 for 250 all the way up to $79 for 2,000. So really, you'd be stupid not to go for the 2,000 when it's only costing you another 30 quid. And 2,000 leaflets doesn't take long to get rid of, So really, 2,000 is about right. So that's the first one.
I ordered 3,000 today, 3,000 leaflets and 1,000 business cards. Dead straightforward and simple to do. It cost me 134 quid.
Yeah, and is that through Paul?
Yeah. I just told him what I wanted on the cards, sent my bank details. Sorry, he sent me his bank details, job done.
Oh, you know what? He's actually sent me a message today because he cocked up on mine and he put a D, he put privileged. So he's actually do it again. So I'm actually going to get double the amount of leaflets and double the amount of business cards with a D, and I'm not going to complain with a D. It's not going to make much difference, is it?
They mentioned, can you make sure you spell privilege correctly? Yeah.
Well, I'm okay because I've got double the amount of cards and leaflets. Nobody's going to know whether it's right or wrong because it's got my domain on it, not the Privileged Car Club, so it makes no difference. So then we've got the business cards, and again, this is where I think you've done 1,000, haven't you, as well? So I went for 1,000 for me and 1,000 for Neil. Of those, we went for 5,000 leaflets, 2,000 business cards between us. We've got this roll-up banner. We got that when we did my Wealth Creation Formula event, and it was very good quality, wasn't it? You saw it, didn't you, Carl? It was really good. It stands up really nice. It's, it just looks really professional. So if you're going to do any kind of go into any local events, and that's another thing, networking events or Chamber of Commerce events, anything where people get together, where you can have a business stand. And they don't know they charge a lot. You could probably get a stand for about 30 quid. And if you and a few of your team decided to go to an event, you could all take different business cards, get a few of these between you. Then so you've got a few and just go and pounce on them. I'm sure there's going to be lots of different people doing these kind of things.
Did you have a URL put on all of this stuff, Sharon?
Yeah.
Your domain, yeah. So it's on your banner as well, yeah?
Not on the banner because back then I didn't have it, so no. But you can ask him to do that if you want it at the bottom. They can put that on for you, no problem.
Okay.
Hello, Sharon. It's David.
Hi, David. How you doing, my dear?
Yeah, good. Sorry to interrupt.
That's all right.
You know the Lead Power System Pro system. Are you going to make lead capture pages on that system as well?
I already do have lead capture pages on there.
Okay.
So you can have them if you want them, you can have them, or you can just use that. No, you can use. I mean, if you've got a Power Lead system, then you may as well use it. Definitely.
Yeah, because that'll be good. Because I've got an email list that I could possibly use, and then they can opt in. Do you also have some autoresponder emails I could use?
Yeah. So I can give you all of that. I'll give you my share code so you can do that.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so roll up banners, and then if you wanted to, so I made it all dead easy for you. So you just literally need to go to stationary.crowdfundingnewcars.co.uk. So everything that is crowdfundingnewcars.co.uk will all be for the team. I've got the crowdfundingnewcars.com, and you've got the crowdfundingnewcars.co.uk. So What you can do is if you want to place the order for the stationery, just click on this link and it takes you over to Paul. I'm going to open a new tab. So this will take you to Paul's Facebook profile. So this is Paul Greenwood. If you're not already a friend with him, then it might be that you don't get the chance to. It might go in the other folder. So what I would advise you do is you actually do email him as well, which is on braverthinking@gmail.com. So send him an email, and also you can message him on Facebook. I message him on Facebook, and he always responds. But if you don't do Facebook, then email obviously is just as good. And he will come back to you. He does have a full-time job, so please bear with him. It takes about 5 working days. I've requested that I get mine early part of next week, and he said that won't be a problem. So he'll do his best, and I've not had a problem with with anything that I've had from him before. And then what we've got is some sample advertisements and literature and clothing and stuff like that, which you can get by clicking this link, which takes you to a Dropbox. So if you don't have Dropbox, you're going to have to download, register for free, and it'll show you you can sign in or you can sign up. And they've got things like another roll-up banner, which is not, it's the one that was at the event this weekend, Karen, which did look quite nice actually, but it's done by somebody else, so there is no printing. You'd have to get your own printer. There's some card flyers. Again, they're not as good as the one that we just ordered, because again, you have to get them done by your own printer, and you need them to put your name, address, and all that kind of stuff on it. There is some clothing which you can either get from these guys or you can order it yourself. I mean, Karen and Steve actually got their own stuff that they got off Vistaprint, didn't you? So
Yeah,
you don't have, it doesn't have to be the company stuff.
Yeah, I was very happy with it as well.
Yeah, we've got the logo. In case if you need the logo, then you can obviously come to us and we can show you. But I mean, they do look quite nice. But if you wanted your own, web address, then obviously they won't do that for you. You'd have to get that done yourself. So Karen had her logo and underneath it, and it's on the, they're like fleeces as well. But you can have caps. There are, quilted jackets which look like that. Which, to be honest, I don't think that doesn't. I mean, that looks a bit tacky for me, so I wouldn't wear something like that. But some people like it. It's entirely up to you guys. They look good, and that T-shirt looks quite nice, I must admit. Oh, there's Karen showing off hers.
That's Steve's. So it's got the logo and then our domain, and then same with this one, red. Yeah, very, very happy with the quality from Vista. It's very good. Very pleased.
So you can get it done locally if you've got a local print. As long as you've got the logo, you can take it anywhere. So just have a play around. But you do want to get some. I mean, I like that T-shirt. Not that colour, but that T-shirt looks quite nice, and that's what yours is like, isn't it, Karen?
Yeah, but cream. I went for the cream one, but yeah, it's V-neck. Yeah, similar to that.
Yeah, and then you get obviously the normal polo type shirts, proper fleeces, and these are the guys where you would buy them from. They've got a telephone number, and you can obviously get onto their their contact details there. So that was that, and then we have on there as well. So I'm just trying to keep everything in one place for you, so you're not having to go looking around everywhere. So then the other thing in here is promotional material, and this is for Facebook or any other method of marketing you want to do. So we've got images, and you could put these on Facebook with some captions. Don't mention who the company is, like don't mention Privileged Car Club, but you could say, where is it? So these talking about Batman, and they've got some things like Del Boy and Star Trek. This was the event. This was all the amount of people that were at the event. This is the guy who does the cryptocurrency. So he took he was a cryptocurrency guy, Max, isn't he?
Yes.
And that's how many people were at the back. He got us all to come forward so we could do a selfie. So that was 400 people. So there's quite a lot, and these get added to all the time. So you just take them and use them as you like. So we've only just got started really. This is just the start of where we're going to go. But I hope that helps you to find places where they're all in one place. You don't have to think about it. Just all you need is that domain name, and you can go there straight away whenever you need any stationery or want to know what to do. So that was that. Now, the only thing I could show you is what I've done, some recent posts that I've done on Facebook, which I will show you now. Just to give you an example of what the type of thing, I don't tell people generally what I do. I don't tell them what companies I'm in. They have to ask. So I did a post. I've not done any posts the last couple of days. I've been too busy. But what I've done is I did this post, which talks about the true cost of motoring. And you can see that's not as mad as many comments, but it gives people an idea of, you know, the type of thing that is costing. And they're using car examples of £8,000. And we know the minimum car that we're going to be driving is 20k. So can you imagine what that 206k would be if you had 20k cars every 2 years? You know, and they're talking about this is how much it costs somebody in a lifetime just for owning, I think it was how many cars? We'll own 5 cars worth nearly £8,500. I'm sorry, but that's just way too low. Then this was the post from the weekend. So I did a video just as I was leaving, in fact, because I didn't get a chance earlier on. So this was quite dark, but I did a video which talked about the cars and just shows you the 3 different cars that got, so we've got the pictures and also the video now. And these Privileged Car Club things on the back, they're just to show that they're not there. They don't need to keep them on. It's just to show that they were done for the Privileged Car Club. And what I did was, if you look at what I said, it was nothing to talk about the Privileged Car Club, but it just said, comment below and I'll be in touch if you want to know more. And I've had 33 people like it, and I've had, how many comments have I had on it? Hold on one sec. There's been lots of 29 comments of people saying more and more, send me some information. Oh, sorry. Everybody wants information, and I'm still getting people now asking for more information. So I'm having to go back and just keep sending them stuff. This was what was at Easter, which I did put a message about the Privileged Car Club, because see, that's somebody else just posted messaging saying that. And this was from like Sunday, and we're still getting messages, people wanting to know more. And that was because we had the Privileged Car Club going. This was like the live stream, so I was promoting it, but that was it really. And then I think I did something to do it earlier on in the week, which is saying, you know, like so many days left. You know, so like this one, drive a new car, 8 days left. You know, so these are the kind of things you can put on your Facebook without telling them what it is, and just asking people to comment. And you'll have people saying info, and that's all you want, you know. And like you say, you're only looking for 3 people, really, you know, 3 people who understand it and will get going with it. Now, you might not choose to stay at 3. I wouldn't never stop at 3. I don't expect anybody to get me my car. I expect to get my car from finding my own people. But what I'm doing in doing that is helping other people on my team, you know, so they get their car quicker, because I know some people might struggle more than others. So I'm here to help them, but I also want other people on the team who are willing to do the same, so that we're not all got, you know, like not like the guy who was on about, you know, your friend who's just come in and he's not going to do anything. I don't want anybody like that on the team. You know, they've got to be prepared at least to try, and that's the most important thing. And everybody up to now is, you know, is prepared to do that, so that's good. And I'm sure we'll get even more, you know, even better people coming on who've got the chance of bringing in a lot of people, which will help everybody then. So, you know, that's the main thing, is that we're here to help each other. So that's really, that's all I've got really to say. Oh, Lorraine's asking, what do I send as a follow-up? Right, hold on, let me go back to my message. I'll show you what I've put on Facebook. Oh, no, nearly cancelled the meeting then. 1 minute, I'll just go back. I need to find somebody. So who did I do the last message to? It's a good question. Right, so let's have a look. So I'm just going to find out who was one of the last ones I did a message to. I think Christina Pappas, I've been talking to her today, so let's just find Christina. Okay, so this is Christine. I don't know if you can see that because this is down here. Hold on, let's just see if I can move it. Right, so if you can see this message, can you see this message here? I'll tell you what, let me see if I can get it on Messenger itself. There's too many people. There's too many people. I can't see anything. Hold on. Right. Make it bigger now so I can see better. Right. So what you would do. So I did a message like this. So I hope you're having a great holiday. It's really amazing concept. We will change the lives of millions of people worldwide. I like it because it's ethical and fully compliant and was created to help people eliminate their second largest financial burden after a mortgage. And in some cases, it is the highest cost, and that's the car. It's a very simple concept. You just need to share with 3 like-minded people who will do the same. And as soon as you have a group of 125, in total, you can order a 30k car package. This is just the start. Once we've established the market of PCC cars, we'll then move on to the houses. To watch a very quick video, please go to that link, and that could be the one I've just talked about, which would be like carl.crowdfundingnewcars.co.uk. I will check with you tomorrow to see if you've had any questions, but do not hesitate to ask me sooner. And that's exactly what I would send. So don't try and tell them too much. You want to tell them a little bit, but don't go into like Privileged Car Club. I mean, I might have gone into a little bit too much there myself. So all you might want to do is just say, you know, it's fantastic. I mean, you can have this. I can copy and paste this. I don't want you copy and pasting messages as such, though. You know, you want to create your own version of that. But basically, you want them to watch a video, come onto a webinar, something like that. And I've not had a chance to follow up these people. I need to go back and share this webinar with them, or, you know, request that we get together and have a call, you know, make a call. But that's basically what I do. Do you do anything different, Karen?
Just same sort of thing, really, just talking to people. You can spark some interest, and then it's just, you know, it's just conversation. Yeah, it's hard sometimes not to let the cat out of the bag, but yeah, try and do that as much as possible. Try and hold it back a little bit.
I know, exactly. You just got to let the videos do the talking for you, because that's what they're there for. If you start talking into, like, you know, you need, you know, like trying to, I mean, some of those people already know that there was 125 people required, but it might put people off, you know. So just say, you know, I'll send you a video, I'll have a quick look at it, and then I'll come back to you and just see if you've got any questions. And that's probably the easiest thing to say without going into too much detail. Lorraine, yes, I'm happy. Anything that I post on my Facebook, you can take. It's not a problem. Anybody, you can just take the same thing. I am opening another Facebook group, which I've set up, which is just for everybody on this team. And what we can try and do, Karen, I know you asked that question about juicing posts. We can perhaps try and do some of that. Where if you put something on Facebook, and you want us to come and comment to get your, you know, more comments on your page, on your post, then we can do that. You know, obviously it takes everybody to do that. And not everybody will, but you know, obviously you're welcome to. We can do that if you want. So yeah, so help yourself. Digital format. Lorraine, what are you asking for? Have you got share codes? Do you have to have PLS or online system pro? Yeah, if you want the share code, you do. But if you want to get that page that I did for Carl, and no, you don't need to have. You don't need an account. I can just create you one. So you just need to let me know if you want a page, I'll create you one. Leslie, if you want a page, I'll create you one. And if whoever wants a page, just let me know. And then you can just send that out. But you're going to have to maintain and keep an eye, you know, a list of people you've sent it to. So you know who's going out, you know, what you need to do, and that's it. But yeah, use it, because like I said, I'm trying to take away any obstacle. Because if I said to you, you've got to create a sales page, you've got to do this, you've got to do that, then it's more a reason for people not to get started, and you don't need that. All you need is to get some leaflets, talk to people, just send out a few videos. You know, once they've asked for more information, send out the videos, get them on a webinar, get them to come to these kind of webinars. There's webinars that the company do they're doing them 3 and 4 times a week now, so there's no reason why they can't watch a webinar and then you can follow them up.
I love the way
come on one of these. I mean, the webinars that the company do are not like this, because that is more just it's just a presentation. This was more of a training presentation and that kind of stuff. So you've obviously got a chance to ask questions as well. Where I know they do ask questions on the corporate ones, but it wouldn't be to this level, would it? Karen?
Yeah, I mean, people ask questions to whatever You know, if they have, but it's open. There's no question that you can't ask, really.
Yeah, so I think we're in a really good place. I think everybody's excited. I mean, I know Lorraine, you were saying I'm really excited about Privileged Car Club, and I think we all are. Once we get your head around it, I think it becomes, a lot more tangible. You're thinking, oh my God, this is a really easy concept to grasp, and it will take people a while. New people that you're talking to might not get it first time, because I didn't. Like I said, Karen had to badger me God knows how many times before I said, "Go on, then." And it was only because on holiday I read the presentation, and then I wanted to speak to Andy, because obviously I do like the research. I wanted to make sure it was what is said on the tin. And after speaking to Andy, I was like, right, yeah, definitely. And the fact that Neil was enthusiastic as well meant a massive, it was a massive thing. So yeah, we're really impressed and we love it. And like I said, the weekend was fantastic, and there'll be more of those going on as well. Lawson, tomorrow, Friday. You can ring me anytime, but not in the evening. It's Friday. So ring me after lunch, it'd be good if you want to ring me after lunch. Anybody else got any questions? Leslie, you happy? You're on the mute.
I'm there. I'm back.
You're back.
Yeah, that's fine. It becomes clearer each time I hear a presentation. So I'm happy now. I've got 2 of my 3.
Cool.
But then I'm going to carry on, as you say, just sharing it with everyone, because it makes sense, doesn't it, to speed it up for everybody.
Yeah,
so
and also it's people you're helping. I mean, you're not just helping yourself, because that's not what we're here to help everybody else, but you're helping them, because they'll appreciate it when they get that car. Who they're going to come and thank afterwards is going to be you, because you've shared it. You've been willing to share it. And I know we're all just skeptical at times. People don't. I'm not one for sharing things offline. Believe you me, I don't do it. But this, I'm prepared to do it, because it's different, completely different. It's all, it's not the same. We're not making money off people. We're sharing and we're helping to, we're all funding each other's cars. So we don't make money off people joining like normal, from commissions and stuff like that. And that's what I like. It's a breath of fresh air. It's something different. And I think that's why it's going to make a massive difference. And like I say, I think a lot of the amount of people I saw there at the weekend are pastors. I mean, like people who are into religious groups and stuff are jumping on board of this, aren't they?
Mm.
Yeah.
Because it's all about debt and getting people out of debt, and it's all about sharing and groups and family and all that kind of stuff. So it kind of fits with them. So if you know anybody like that, if you know any pastors or whatever, go and talk to them.
This is seeing people in your downline getting close and seeing them getting excited. Like Morel, she just needs that one. And she worked her socks off to get that one. She couldn't quite do it, but she's still up on the stage, which was fantastic,
She did a good job on stage as well.
She did really well, and it's fantastic. And seeing your downlines getting their cars is just going to be the best thing ever. It really is.
Oh, it is. I can't wait. That's the bit I can't wait. I want as many people having their car this year. I know what we said at the weekend was, plan for 12 months. Don't plan for 3 months. That's not realistic. You're literally going to set yourself up to fail. If you say it's going to take you 12 months to get your car, and if you get it in 10 months or you get it in 8 months, then fantastic.
Absolutely. We've been in 6 months now. Probably would have done it if we was only going for one car. In fact, we definitely would have done it if we was only going for one car. But that's not what we want, and there's lots of different strategies that you can use, and you just got to work out what's right for you and then just go for it. I mean, if it takes us another 2 years, it'll still be the best thing ever, but it won't. A few more months, and we'll be there, and just no looking back after that, because you're sorted, aren't you, with your car for life, really.
Well, it's not only that. Once you've got the car, your team's going to grow quicker anyway, because once you've got that car, it's just exponential growth, isn't it?
Yeah. We'll get some of these magnetic things to stick on the doors, so that you can put them on and off as you suit. So you haven't got your car permanently covered, but just a few of them magnetic strips that explain what it's all about. So if you're out and about here and there, then then you know, you can pop them on and away you go, and it's just getting the word out there. You know, it's going to change so many people's lives, take the pressure off. Really
Oh
will.
God, yeah. And like you said, once it moves into the houses, oh my God. I mean, to be honest, the car in our house especially is higher than the cost of the mortgage.
And us,
So where they say it's the second largest cost, it's not. In some cases, for us, it's the more higher cost. So yeah, we'll be thinking, whoopie do. If they get rid of the house, get rid of the cars, and get rid of the house costs. Oh my God.
no.
I mean, Sharon, imagine if to make it really sustainable, if you get in your 3 legs somebody to qualify for a car, like in each leg, then it's unstoppable, really.
Exactly. That's what I mean. It just keeps going.
If you get one person in each leg who qualifies for a car, then it's going to sustain itself, really, because it's really because obviously those people would want to requalify for the next 2 years.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. As soon as you get your car, that is where you do. I mean, like they don't make you brand your car, but you will want to do it yourself. I mean, there's certain. Somebody was asked about a car wrapping service. I thought, why would you want to do that? Well, you can get your car wrapped. I mean, why? Why would you do it? I wouldn't, because if I'm having a nice car, it's my car, you know. But I will put the stickers on, like you said, Karen, where you can take them on. If you're on the motorway, then why not? If you're stuck in traffic, then because they're going to see your poster. And if you're in a car park on, like, say, I don't know, Trafford Centre, and you leave, you know, try and strategically park it near the front door, put your band and put all your stickers on, and then go shopping, you know, that kind of stuff. That's what you want it for, but not every day. You know, I wouldn't leave it on the drive with that on.
No, same. Yeah, it's just so that you can do it as and when you go to the right place. You can have lots of eyeballs on it, isn't it, really?
Exactly. And I've no doubt.
I mean,
well, the place you want to be going to, if you don't know them already, is you need to start finding them, is taxi drivers. What do you call it? Oh God, taxi drivers, driving instructors. We had this conversation about driving instructors, and we do believe that driving instructors are eligible, as well as taxi drivers, as long as they pay for their own liability insurance, which is for carrying passengers. So obviously dual controls and all that kind of stuff.
What about Uber drivers?
Yeah, Uber drivers, yeah. But don't forget, all these guys, the car's insured, they're insured, but the passengers aren't. So they have to pay their extra liability insurance, and also their obviously their the license for doing the being a taxi driver. So those costs won't change. But what will change is the ongoing costs of keeping the car going.
But imagine how your confidence will soar as soon as you qualify for a car. You'll go pick up strangers in the road and tell them about your car.
Well, you'll become an Uber driver, will you?
No. I'm just saying you'll be so excited about you'd go visiting every single friend that you haven't seen for a while and say, "Look what I got. Do you want one?"
Exactly.
So it will give you a lot of confidence.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what people. I mean, that's what they're saying. As soon as you get your car, if you can build a team and get your car, then you can easily get your next 81 people, no problem. Because you built it without a car, and now you've got the car, so you're going to build it even quicker because you're just showing it off. And you just need to make sure you get yourself in places where there's lots of people, so that you get your you get eyeballs on your car.
If you re-enter a couple of times and you get the advertising promotion, which means you can give up the day job, then going to the odd event, going to seminars, etc., isn't going to be a hardship, is it really?
No, definitely not. And we'll all be there to do these. We'll go and have coffee mornings, and all take our cars and go. We'll all get our sticker saying, "We all drive a car for 50 quid a month." And we all have this big room. Well, like say we can go to like the John Gilbert or places like that near where I am, or we come to yours, and there's a pub or there's a place where there's a lot of people hang out at lunchtime, and we'll just all turn up with our Privileged Car Club logos on, and all the cars are in the car park. They're like, "What the hell's going on? Where's all these people coming from?" But that's what you need to do, is just to get people thinking, what the hell is this? And it soon get, if you go to a hotel and put on an event where literally it's only you guys, it's only members, but the fact that you've all got your own Privileged Car Club stuff on, the cars in the car park are all there, they're going to come looking for you. So that's the thing.
That's a question. So I know you've designed that page in PowerLead system, so that's all done and dusted. So what would you recommend then? Would you, so for me personally, so from a selfish point of view, so for me personally, would you recommend that I did the first option in the non-PLS company, or just use that one page you've already done?
I think for starting off, I don't want anybody to get bogged down, because I know how long it can take, and I don't want people to sit back and think, oh, I've got to create the page before I can do this. Don't. So start off with the PLS one, which has got your name, and then when you start thinking, oh my God, I'm getting bombarded here with, I can't cope with how I'm going to keep up with people, that's when you move to an auto-responding system. So don't bog yourself down trying to build pages and stuff when you're not really, that's not your forte. Use
my eyes glaze over.
Because I know, David, you said that you use PowerLead system. I mean, I've used it a couple of times, David, but I can get a bit bogged down with it, to be honest.
I think David's the same.
I think if I got a share code from Sharon, then it's pretty easy, because
easy
put the share code in. You put the share code in, and then it really it's not too difficult to
Not
do.
for you.
But I think Sharon, start with the easy option first, and then if you start getting a lot of leads, then you can do the opt-in version.
So to have lots and lots of leads would be a nice problem to have.
Yeah, exactly. Like I say, I think to start off with, just go back to how you would have done it before autoresponders came on the scene, which was using lists, paper lists,
I've got a similar them anyway, so
Excel spreadsheets. Use what you've got. Don't bog yourself down with cost. Don't bog yourself down with trying to design something you're not good at. Just get out there and spread the word. That's the most important thing. And this is different to anything we've ever done before, because all the other stuff is you don't need to recruit. With this, you do. And you're not recruiting, you're sharing and spreading the word. But you do need to tell people. So we need to all get out of our comfort zone, because I'm just as bad, because I don't do offline marketing, ever.
See, I'm kind of going full circle now. So I started off doing this sort of stuff, followed you into all the online stuff, and I'm going back around again to basics on how I first started in network marketing. I know this isn't network marketing, but it's going back to my grassroots sort of thing. So yeah, I'm quite excited by that, to be honest.
And I think it's good if you do it in your local area as well, because you're helping your community. So it's a community-based thing, isn't it?
Just for the Stafford area. I'm sure you're listening, Pat, aren't you?
Oh, what's that? Pat?
And Pat, I think Pat's on. So Pat's joined, and she lives around the corner from me. So
I'm there.
Hey, Pat. So what's in your area then? Is there something happening in your area?
Oh, we're back to in Stafford.
Yeah, just around the corner from you, Pat, don't you? So
yep. Keep on your own patch.
We can do stuff together, Pat, can't we?
Yes, definitely.
So what do you think? Do you like what you see up to now, Pat?
Yeah, definitely. It's all been really interesting, really good, really exciting.
I think it's one of those things, once you get your head round it, it blows your mind, and you think how many cars we can have by the end of the year will be amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to getting some recruits.
Well, brilliant. Has anybody else got any questions? Leslie, you're being very quiet.
Yeah, no, I'm just sort of plotting what I'm going to do, what approach I'm going to take.
Plotting. How have you got on with Russ? Is Russ more on board now as well?
Yeah, he is on board. He hasn't actually joined yet, but he is on board, and he's speaking to a lot of his driving school pupils, because we know that's a great place to recruit from. So I'm hoping that he will get loads of people, and he can stick a few under me as well.
Yeah. Well, if they go under you, then they'll filter down to him anyway. So
yeah,
you might as well do that. That's what I've done to start off with. But then obviously you want to start helping people a bit further down.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah. No, it's good. I'm liking it. I just need just a little bit of time just to get started and get going.
Cool. Anybody else? Are we done? Because it's 10 o'clock. But you're all thinking our webinars go on for like 2 hours at a time, don't they, Carl? And we know what it's like.
It's you.
It's not my fault. It's you. You asked too many questions. No, but it's all good stuff. At the end of the day, if it's helping, then that's the most important thing. So I want to make sure.
A big thank you, Sharon, because what you've done is it's brilliant. What you've done, I feel well ready to crack on. I just can't wait for my leaflets to come through and get my 4-year-old, not the older one who's on this call as well.
Ben, is it Ben?
Yeah, Ben's listening in. He's shy.
He's shy.
Yeah, I'll get the 4-year-old to help me deliver some leaflets. So as well, I think a family business.
Well, I'm actually away. I'm going on holiday next week, and I've ordered my business card so that they come in time for me to take some business cards and some flyers with me to Portugal. Not that I can sell the car in Portugal, but there's people over there who are on holiday. So I might if I get talking to anybody, I might be quite boring and just go and have a holiday for a change. Well, like Karen did when she was in Barbados not long ago. I said, "When did you get back? You kind of disappeared off the earth," and she just went on holiday. So I think I might do the same for a week and just go on holiday. But when I get back, so I'll be back in obviously around about the 20th. So should we have another one that week after the following week? Yeah, which will be that's probably going to be the week we'd have the Wealth Creation Formula one anyway.
That was one of my questions, Sharon. So are you going to do regular? Because I know there's loads of Zooms going on around within in other areas of the business. So are you going to do a regular weekly, monthly Zoom to help people find people sort of thing, or to bring people in?
I want to help. I want to do these kind of things where we can go through, like if you're doing leaflet drops, I'm doing leaflet drops, Karen will be doing leaflet drops, Lev will probably doing leaflet drops or something, and share what you've done and what the results have been so that people can think, is that worth them having a go? I've got these, I haven't got them on me now, they're downstairs, little beacons, which I've had for like nearly a year now. They're like a beacon that uses a signal that sends off to a mobile. And it's a mobile thing, and I've not tested them yet.
I remember that. I remember you guessing that.
I know, I've not done anything with them. How long's that been? It's nearly 2 years ago. But I've got somebody who's in the UK, do you know John Bone, Karen? John Bone? Well, John Bone, who does the webinars with Morel, he's actually he's like he's like a, I don't know what you call it. He's not a master distributor, but he's somebody who's over he's got like links to the head office of Acervia in America. So I went, John, talk to me about Acervia and how I get these bloody things working. So once I get them working, I'll let you know how that works as well. Because again, that's it's a beacon that you would carry in your pocket, or you can put it. He's put them in supermarkets or in shopping centres where they put them on top of things. I went, God, I just imagine me doing it and get bloody arrested for planting a bomb. I bet you'd feel like, oh my God, because I've tied it in a poo bag, a dog poo bag, and put it on top of this thing. But he's like 7 foot tall. So imagine me trying to do it, I'll be climbing up, and then I'm just putting something on top of it, and then I'll get arrested next minute. So you just got to be careful where you put them. But what he said is you leave them in places because obviously you want that footfall. So these devices are picking up people all the time. So I want to try and get one of them working for next week when Neil goes to Man City, and he can take it to the football stadium and see what we get. We'll get like a messages to go to a capture page. There'll be a video playing about the Privileged Car Club, maybe my video, what I've just done, and just see what happens, so that might be worth as well. So I'm going to try all different kinds of things, Facebook marketing. I've even got some training on LinkedIn, but when the hell I'm going to find some time to do that, I do not know. But LinkedIn's another good place to do stuff on, because you've got business people over there who've got money, who, more open-minded, stuff like that. So there's the things are endless. There's endless ways to find people, and not just in this country. Because don't forget, America's really good. Start talking to people in Australia, Canada, get them ready, talking about it, get them fired up so they can pre-build the list effectively, ready to go in. And then we can literally, it'd be fantastic if we could get people in Canada and in Australia literally pre-built so that we could get 3 cars qualified in the first 3 months. That would be amazing. And we can all go on holiday to Canada. together and all go on holiday to Australia together.
In a convoy.
Yeah, in a convoy. We'll take, yeah. We'll have to hire a Winnebago or something. We'll all go, or one big mansion somewhere. So, right, we're having 20-room mansion and we're going to go and stay there. But no, that's what I want. I want us all to, you know, we're all going to benefit from this. It's not all about, you know, the people at the top getting all the benefit. It's not. It's going to be a team effort for everybody. So so I'm looking forward to it. So I'm really thanking Karen for pursuing me, for telling me off, for not listening and not looking, because I told her to bugger off a few times.
Never say never.
Karen.
Never
was
give
that?
up. No never means no.
No, not with you, does it? She bloody might. She won't let me go. So, yeah, no, it's been good. So I'm really, you know, and like I say, I like it. And Andy's a really nice guy, isn't he?
I knew you would, and you know, and it's well, it is just a fantastic opportunity for us all to have, and you know, being able to help everyone as well. Like you say, it's just going to change people's. Although it's not really an income initially, it's still going to be life changing financially for a lot of people.
Well, it is if they don't have a cost of the car. I mean, like you said, 2,000. You know, 2,000. Is it a year or a month? Is a lot. It's a lot of money.
And what about all the people that can't even get finance? You know, there's a whole market out there that for one reason or another, I think it's something like 25% of the market of people have got bad credit. So they can't go and buy a new car even if they wanted to.
No.
There's no credit checks with this. So you've got a whole load of prospects there as well, you know, that would jump at this.
Exactly. And you know, people have always dreamt of having a brand new car. Now that dream's going to come true if they're willing to do something. But you got some lazy, don't know what's out there, who don't really want to do anything, and they think they should have everything put on the plate. Well, we're not in that game. We're a team. And like I keep saying, it's like if you had a team and you had to get a team together, or if you needed to get a massive supporters, or even like charity. I mean, like look at these fundraising companies. When they want to raise millions for charity, I mean, they have to do something, which is go and talk to people and do something. It's the same thing here. Go and do a sponsored something and put all your Privileged Car Club on the back, you know, have all your sponsorship on the back. You know, that's what you want to do, is get that name out there. I'm sure somebody's going to go to some local football club and sponsor a football club. I bet you they're going to do that. You can see it coming, can't you?
Just so I get charity. I think what?
You can bet somebody will go to a local football club, you know, a kiddies football club, and say, look, we'll sponsor you with those big banners, you know, the big plastic banners, and put it outside the club just so people ask, well, what's that? You know, get it in one of the brochures.
Right, I'm on it then. Good idea.
Well, it's funny that Davy's had to go, but his kid plays football or rugby, one or the other. So, you know, that's another thing, you know, it helps those people as well.
Cool. Yeah, great stuff.
Okay, so it's 10:15, so I'm going to go over and out, guys, because otherwise we'll be till 11 o'clock.
Yeah, well, thanks very much for everything you've done, Sharon. We do appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. So should we do this the week, like I said, that week after I get back, because that is the Wealth Creation Formula week as well, or do we just do this for the time being and leave Wealth Creation Formula for a few weeks?
Yeah.
Or you can do a 5-hour.
Or I can do what?
You do a
5-hour one.
Oh, we'll talk about it, but I definitely want to do a dedicated one for this because I think it needs it. The others are just updates.
While it's in its infancy, I think perhaps focus on this. Then once it starts rolling a bit, then yeah. And is that so? The page you showed earlier, so is that all ready for me now? Then is it all ready to go?
Yours is 100% ready to go. Go for it.
Woo.
Who else wants one? Karen, do you want one?
Yeah, I'll have a chat with you about what's the best way to go, because I really struggle with PLS, but I think I did a little bit better with Online Sales Pro. I've not renewed because
It looks simpler. That did.
Oh, it was dead easy, but it's not cheap. It's £37 a month. Dollars a month. I paid for the year, so it was $297. But if you want an autorespond, you've got to pay for Aweber as well on top of that. Or you can just use the app and just have your pre-done messages and just send them a text and say, let's have a chat and get them on the call and stuff like that.
Okay.
But I would start off with the PLS one, you know, just the free page, not paying for it, just the page that's in your name with your link on it, but it's just not going to have a capture page. So I'd just start with that for now.
Yeah, okay.
And then you move into that.
Get that up and running then. Is it all linked in now already then?
Yeah, it's ready to go. Go for it. Get it out there now.
If I go to my website now, it'll show it.
Go to Carl dot. What did I say it was called? Crowdfundingnewcars.co.uk.
You know what? So right. So I just need to my website. I've got my domain. I have to link that to that, then don't I, to get it to work?
Yeah. just forward it to that, or just use that Carl.crowdfunding.
I'm my leaflets now, aren't I?
Oh. Oh bugger!
I'll just forward it to that then. If you could just message me in a minute then what it is again, what that link is, and I'll just forward it on.
Okay, cool. We'll do that. And Leslie, do you want one?
Yeah, just the big one you've just said, that where you don't. You
Well,
just got a page.
Just like a
send
jump
out.
cow. The one like a jump cow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that for you guys, and then anybody else, if you need one, just send me a message and let me know, and I'll do that for you as well. Anything to help. I want to make sure that you've got no obstacles and no objections, and you can't say I can't do it because I've not got this. You've got everything you need now, so go forth and multiply, guys. Not
Brilliant.
in the literal sense, Leslie. But if you've got any questions, any problems, I'm around till we fly on Thursday this time. Well, we'll be there. I'll be in bed by this time next Thursday. I've got to fly at 7:00 in the morning. But I'm still going to be around. But I will be having a holiday for the first time in like God knows how long. So we're going to have some sun and just chill. But I will be doing stuff while I'm out there as well.
Well, just enjoy the two of you.
Oh, we will definitely. Don't you worry.
Cool.
That's it.
I'm going to have to go.
Okay, guys.
Thanks very much.
See you later.
Thanks very much.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks,
Bye,
Sharon.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.